Hey everyone, Coast Essential here, and in this video we've started a new area. It's continuing on the medieval theme, but it's going to be a bit more kind of like steampunk and modern. And we've got a flying coaster. So it's got some really nice elements. This first drop is very closely shaped to the one on Flying Dinosaur. This whole ride currently looks a bit messy, but when I eventually get to like making the supports actually look good and stuff, it'll look much better. So we got the queue line which curves around the back here, and then we got obviously this massive lift hill. You can hardly see it from the entrance area though, because like the ride is just so far away. So that is quite a cool part about this park, that like it's very heavily like wooded and got so many trees in it that you can hardly see some of like the rides towards the back of the park, which makes it kind of like a grand reveal when you finally enter this area. And that's what I want it to be. So when you enter this area, you're gonna have a little bit of a plaza here. We got this Larson loop, and then there's the scenic turnaround for the ride right here. If we dip down to the layout. So the station is here. You got a little 180-degree turn. I haven't actually set it's running with 2 trains yet, so I'm going to do that for the next bit. But this ride, honestly, it's looking really cool at the moment. The way it just kind of like flies around the area and stuff. I'm loving it so far. So 180-degree turn, left hill. This is 33 degrees. So you want to have your lift hill between 30 degrees and 45 degrees for flying coasters. So I've just had mine at 33. And you come up the top. This drop is actually fairly steep at 66 degrees, and you bank. You kind of like snap quite sharply in it. So then you level out here, and you go into like what is essentially half of a pretzel loop. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's like half a pretzel loop. So you start off and then you drop down, and then you come out of it with like a fly to lie, but you start off on your back, so you end facing the normal. It's quite an interesting element, honestly. It flattens out at the top here. You drip down, and here's a point of no return block break, because I can't speak. Block break. So if the train were to valley somewhere and then come back, it wouldn't be able to get up to there, so the train would be able to just dispatch, because the train would not be able to pass back to that point if it valleyed. So yeah. And then after that you would curve around here. It's quite scenic. You don't get many positive views in it though. Then you dip down right next to the pathway, and then you curve around, and then you enter this 0G roll, which is quite nice. It kind of flattens out on top, so it's more of an inline roll. Downwards twist, another 0G roll that's kind of an inline roll as well. Then you finally twist through here, flatten out a bit there, then you twist around again before you go into the final whippy inversion into the brake run. So this ride is really good. It's got lots of fairly intense elements, like the valley of this drop I believe pulls something like 3.5 G-forces. This is very intense as well. So this whole ride, it's looking really nice so far. And when we finally done the colour scheme and everything for it, I'm sure it will fit this medieval theme much better. So I guess let's see what it looks like then. Alright everyone, this area is looking much better, and it's definitely developing into that steampunk theme. So you can see this track has got that brownish colour, and it just flies through this layout. It is really cool. So we got a little maintenance area over here for the ride with a transfer track, and we also have the entire ride fenced off, except for this little bit, but I will eventually get round to doing the fencing around this the maintenance track. So this ride so far, it's got 3 train operations, because it's a B&M and they're always capacity beasts, and it is looking really nice. We have this little food Stop. It's just like it's just Monsieur fries. And this queue also now is fully fenced off. So as you can see there, it's got quite a big queue because even though this ride would be pulling in loads of crowds, it has a very high capacity because it obviously runs 3 trains. So it wouldn't need that long of a queue. We got this exit, which is also fully pathed, and this looping ride. Now, I still don't know what I'm going to call either of these rides, honestly. I need to do something like mechanical, but I honestly have no idea. But I'll try and figure one out for the next bit. This area though is looking really good. This swooping turn as well, it kind of like comes around. This looks really nice. I love how this element has come together. Cause you just kind of like, you can see it now, perfect timing. You see it how it kind of just swoops around, and on the ride you get an excellent view of that, and then you just turn around again. It's really cool. And also around this area where we need to transition from medieval to kind of steampunk, I still have the alpine tree, so eventually it goes into much more of like a regular kind of tree. But I'm going to try and have as little kind of like foliage around this area as possible, because I want it to be very industrial. So I'm going to have like maybe a couple like factories or something around here, to kind of just pull together this steampunk renaissance theme. I might have a load of steam effects as well. I feel like that would be very cool. And this station has been started on. I obviously haven't finished it yet, but I want to have lots of kind of like pipes running down these buildings and stuff, and maybe like even like a little chimney with like smoke on it and stuff. This area though is looking great so far. And you kind of come around, and off here we're going to have another ride which is going to look really cool, and it's going to go from steampunk over here to futuristic over here, so kind of on this side of the park going through kind of like time. So it starts off with kind of medieval, then it becomes steampunk, and then it eventually just goes to very modern, which is quite a cool idea, honestly. But this park is actually massive. Now this is bigger than Pirates Paradise, and it's just about to get bigger as you finish this project, and well, I guess let's just see how it turns out. Alright everyone, it's finally time to put the done for now stamp on this coaster, and it is just awesome. This view of the ride, it's not in an accessible area by like the guests, but this coaster just looks menacing. The way it just kind of flies through its layout, you got this massive drop which can just flips around, and you can sort of see it go through that part loop there. It looks so cool, and you get quite close up to this finale where it flips around here as well. But it looks really cool. So you got this element that kind of like flips you around, and you'd enter the area down this path near the King's Hall, with this massive ride here. So you'd come up here. You can either go down there, or round here, where the pathway will all split off over there. But we got this steampunk area, and we got this massive factory, which is looking quite nice, and it's mainly there to kind of just block the view of that castle's back bit. So nothing too special there. And then we got this looping coaster. A Larson loop. It's not a roller coaster, but we added a bunch of steam effects to it, and this thing is called factory flips because it kind of like loops upside down and stuff. The queue line just goes through here. It's nothing too special, and you can carry on walking down to see this little shop next to Flying Train, which is what this flying coaster is called. And here are the photos for it. We don't actually have images of the photos on here because the park is shut, so we can't take photos of guests. But we just got that as kind of like an example, like a representative of ride photos. And the queue line, it goes all around here. We've got a bit of a cattle pen there. Go around a bit more. Lots of cattle pen, and you actually get some really nice views of the ride. Like this part right here, and you get a really nice flip there. Which is quite nice. You can move here. You can kind of see the maintenance bay, but then you enter the station. So we got a bunch of pipes at the top of it, And when you actually leave the station, a bunch of steam comes up, and it's quite cool. Like, look at that. What a nice little effect. We got a bunch of pipes. This person would check your restraints and stuff. This person will tell where to sit, and that person turns the ride. Baggage hold right here, and it looks quite nice, honestly. So carry on going around. And this area is pretty much finished now. Might need to do a couple more fixer-ups after this video. But other than that, it's pretty finished. And it looks really great. And it fits so well into the skyline. Just seeing that kind of ride in the background is really awesome, honestly. And the fact that you really, honestly, just can't see this coaster until you get to here where you can just barely see the support, and then you just get this grand view of it. I really wanted that park to kind of be like that, where trees block out most of the rides and you need to kind of like discover them, and only like the really tall rides and the ones that are like meant to be like up for show. Like this one, for example, this is meant to be like a coaster, like a gatekeeper coaster. Lightspeed is meant to be kind of like that, which is really cool, but you can't see it from when you're in this area and stuff, which is nice. So this park, it's coming together so nicely. I'm so happy about it. And without further ado, I reckon we should go for a ride on this one. So see you next time, guys. Bye.